Hi all, John at Bauhaus Performance. Today we're going to be going over driver fitness and how to get in shape for racing. Racing is physically demanding, more so than many people think. So improving your fitness can really help with, improving your lap time, building consistency, and can be a tool that you have that other drivers are not taking advantage of. Fitness improves endurance, reaction time, and consistency, all of which are critical to improving your prowess as a driver. Pro drivers train like athletes, most of them. So even as a club racer or some small time novice amateur, it's definitely going to be helpful for you to train, build that proficiency. So hopefully you can take it to the next level. So some of the benefits that you can get from improving your fitness for racing would be increases in racing stamina. You can drive for longer, have longer stints in the car. More flexibility in car types, right? So, if a car doesn't have power steering, it's got wide tires, you're able to manage that. A lot of G-forces, you're going to need to have improved fitness for that. And then setup as well. There's some setup options that can make it more physically demanding for the driver. So, if you have a good fitness base, then it's going to open up your opportunities to, move to two different cars in the future. The most important one, for me at least, is to reduce your distractions from the physical demands so that all of your attention can be focused on actually maximizing the car, maximizing your laps, and you don't have to be distracted by, the physicality of racing. And then it's also one step closer to getting a call up to the pros, right? So if you're an amateur, you're looking to be move up to a pro environment, having a physical, being physically fit, if you have the same lap times as someone who's, not physically fit versus you, it's going to be a pretty easy choice for a pro team to say, okay, well, this driver is already, has a good baseline in their physical fitness. So we can take them to the next level and not have to worry about them, skipping on their fitness, right? And then at the end of the day, the way that I like to think about it is, what would you do to drop 25 pounds from your car, right? If you're a 200-pound person, you can drop down to, 175 pounds lean. You have about 25 pounds of fat, maybe, something like that. Dropping 25 pounds from the car is a massive change, right? And then if you're already underweight, what you can do is you can manage that weight, that 25 pounds in ballast. Right? You can put it lower in the car. You can move it around in the car. Whereas if it's, on your person, it's going to be, flailing around. It's going to be higher than it would be if it's, if it's on the floor as ballast, right? So, you can really take advantage of, 25 pounds, in a beneficial way, right? 25 pounds is essentially an extra seat in the car, and some, right? So, having, you wouldn't drive around, racing with an extra seat. So why would you have another 25 pounds that you can then move around, put lower in the car and improve your lap time? So let's talk about the direct benefits of fitness and how they improve lap time. So like we talked about, less fatigue, creates more consistencies. Tired drivers make mistakes, right? So if you're driving around, you've been in the car for 30 minutes, right? You're exhausted. You're going to be more prone to making mistakes. Having better core strength around your midsection, right, is going to create better control. You're not going to be slouching. You're not going to be jostled around in the car. Your belts hold you, but they're attached at your shoulders, and then you have your hip buckles, but your midsection still has the ability to move, right? So if you're getting tossed around, you're constantly, exerting energy on your midsection where you're making small adjustments over 30 minutes, over an hour. If you're going to endurance racing over a couple hours, right, 2, maybe 3 hours for a stint, that's going to add up and it's going to fatigue you and make you even more prone at the end of your stint. So definitely the midsection is important for reducing fatigue. And then cardiovascular fitness really is important as well, right? I'm sure many of you have been, towards the end of a stint or, it's a hot day, something like that, and you're just, you're drenched in sweat when you come off track. Well, if you improve your cardiovascular fitness, you're going to keep your heart rate down. You're going to be able to focus more and keep your reaction time sharp, even at the middle or end of your race, your stint, what have you. And then building some strength in your neck is also going to help with managing the G-force. Obviously, you're going to be wearing a helmet, so that's an extra amount of weight on your head. The faster car that you're in, is the G-force, is going to be higher, certainly laterally. But even in, small cars, slower cars like the Miata that we drive, we still have a load on our neck from braking is predominantly where it is. It's definitely not acceleration, I can tell you that. But, when you're braking, you need to be focused as well. You can't let your neck just, go limp and your helmet, smack on your chest, right? So, being able to manage that and again, be able to focus on the driving, the racing, as opposed to, managing these G-forces, they become less mental management that you have to do that you can then take and focus on improving your lap time and getting faster. So the ultimate goal is really to lean out, yes, because you're going to drop weight, but also you want to build strength so that you're not just losing all this weight, you're losing all this muscle, and then you're just getting flailed around and you can't actually, you don't have the strength to actually accommodate for these G-forces now or whatever it is. You want to make sure that you're leaning out and building strength at the same time. So let's go over how we can accomplish that. So some key areas to train. One is going to be your cardiovascular fitness, right? So if again, our goal is to lean out and also build strength, which is going to be building muscle, right? So what I would recommend is do incline walking if you're going to start building, if you're focused on more building muscle. Or if you're more interested in leaning out, depending on where your starting point is, you can get more aggressive, right? With, cycling or rowing. The only problem with that is that, the amount of muscle that you're going to maintain may be less, or muscle that you would build would be less with intense cardio than it would be with less intense cardio like incline walking. So incline walking is mainly what we do. It gets, your steps in, it gets your cardio in, while also preserving as much muscle as possible. For core strength, a couple great exercises would be planks, right? To build some more strength around your midsection. Doing crunches is going to be helpful. And then one that's not thought about that much is your oblique crunches. So those are the sides of your midsection. So if you are, when you're experiencing G-forces, one side of your body is going to be being pulled outside more than another. So working your obliques is definitely going to be helpful to building strength there so that you're not squatting your midsection on one side during those G-forces. For your upper body, let's think about what we're actually going to be doing. So we're going to have our arms in a 45-degree angle and moving, one side of our arm up and the other side down. So a couple exercises that would be good for that is your bench press. That's going to hit your chest, so you can have more of a push when you are rotating the wheel, when you're pushing the arm up. Your shoulder press, so that is actually an up and down motion. However, the part of your shoulder that's actually rotating when you're moving the wheel is it's called your front delt. And the shoulder press is an exercise that specifically targets that muscle. And then one that's really beneficial is the plate rotation. So you're holding a plate out front and you're just rotating it like you would a steering wheel. So that's an exercise that's really going to be helpful for basically mimicking the action that you would do on track. For your leg strength, the leg press is great, either double or single leg. I like to do a little bit of both, right? So maybe some days I'll do a single leg press or both legs. But those can be great. I mean, that's going to be basically mimicking almost exactly what it's like getting on the brake pedal. So that's a great exercise. And then squats. Squats is going to build your entire legs. So that'll be really helpful for, increasing your strength there. And then another important area that's commonly not utilized is your grip strength. So, for those that have been in a car that, doesn't have power steering and it has some pretty, a pretty direct contact with the road, sometimes your forearms can get pretty exhausted. Your hands can get pretty exhausted from driving. So one thing that you can do for that is some dumbbell carries. So literally just picking up a pair of dumbbells, walking around the gym a little bit. It's going to build some strength in your forearms. And then also dead hangs. So literally just hang off the bar for as long as you can. You could throw a plate on your midsection if you needed some more weight for that. But that'll help build some strength in your forearms and improve your grip strength. And then for the neck, the main thing that you can do, you can go a lot of different ways depending on what kind of car you have or what kind of car you're expecting to drive. The easiest thing with no added pieces of equipment would be just laying on your side, moving your neck up and down, forward and backwards, right? You could also do it with a band if you have a band, attach it to the wall, or if you're in a gym, attach it to one of the machines, rotating your neck up and down, back and forth, right? Or they also have a tool that many drivers have. It's called an iron neck, but it can be pretty expensive, but that will help build your neck as well. In addition, there's a Google Doc in the description that contains some templates for different exercise days that I would recommend. In terms of frequency, if you go 4 times a week, 5 times a week, I think that's totally fine, right? You'd want to do your cardiovascular fitness more towards the end or spread out throughout the day. Would be ideal so that it doesn't hurt your muscle gain or your strength gains. But really, if you go do upper and lower, I would see in this type of arrangement, that's what I would recommend. Do that, hit each muscle 2 times a week. So you do upper, lower, maybe a dedicated cardio day. You're going to be in great shape. Come race season, in a year from now, you're going to have very different physical structure. You're going to be stronger, you're going to be leaner, and that's really going to pay dividends on track. Final thoughts. Small improvements can shave times off your lap times. So even gaining a little bit of strength and definitely decreasing your weight and including some ballast will really help with improving your lap times. Strength training, weight loss, as you probably know, it does take time. So start now, start slow, build up, and your lap times will thank you. We do have detailed templates in the description. If you are interested in using those, they're completely free. You can download them, mark them up, and do whatever you need to do. And then we also have some other resources to some channels that if you are interested in getting into fitness, we'll be able to help you with finding other ways to improve your fitness, sports scientists that'll be able to really help you build out the plan that's right for you. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you did find the video helpful, we would appreciate it if you do like and subscribe. It would really help us and also notify you of any future videos that come out. You can also contact us at the contact information below. Feel free to send us a direct email if you want to, if you have any questions. And with that, we'll see you in the next one. All right. Thanks, y'all.